Hi, welcome to Think Human. I'm Chris, and in this video, I want to talk about bad trips. So, bad psychedelic experiences. As wonderful these experiences can be and life changing, which I have made like a few videos now about, they can also be equally terrible, and I have had similar such experiences as well. So, psychedelic experience, essentially, one way to describe it is that it amplifies and magnifies all of your emotions. So, if you go into it really happy and positive, it will magnify those emotions and you will have a wonderful experience, given that you can sustain this sort of positive mindset for the whole duration of the experience. In another way, if you have a negative mindset and you're worried and anxious, then that will magnify your worries and anxiousness. And these mindsets during these experiences can change really quickly, which I have also experienced. So I remember one of the first times taking them when I really didn't know what the experience would be like, because nothing can really prepare you for it. It's just so alien of an experience. It's nothing like, normal life or any other drug for that matter. And it starts off kind of this freeing sort of childlike wonder. It's like you see everything for the first time, which is absolutely amazing and fascinating. You don't have any filters or labels in your mind. You don't look at a tree and say that that's a tree over there. You just see what it is. It's a living organism, a complex living organism that has its own entire life and stuff going on, and it can be overwhelming looking at nature and everything in it. One time I was moved to tears by seeing a bug on the ground just walking along doing its thing. It was incredibly moving, because it's just simplicity, beauty of life at some points can really like hit you. So negative experience, how it happened for me, it was I was with some kind of assholes for some reason. It just ended up these were the person that I was picking these mushrooms with, and yeah, I took them. They called me. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" They were like, "Are you tripping?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then, okay, let's go meet. And I should have said no, like, screw you, I'm staying home. But for some reason, I was like, in my this kind of psychedelic state sometimes can make you sort of naive and sort of too sort of positive. I should have known this was the person I didn't want to hang out with, but I did. And there were some weird mind fucks. They, messed with me, like, haha, I did some stupid stuff that you can do to people who are dripping, and mess with them in some way. I went home. I felt like shit, because it was like, what the fuck's wrong with people? Why would anyone, mess with me like that? There's no good reason, just for people to have fun on someone else's expense. I think is stupid and childish and messed up. But anyway, about the bad experience. So I remember I was sitting in my chair, and it was like the opposite of ego death. It's the opposite of enlightenment in a weird kind of way, because I was sitting in my chair and I remember having this incredibly clear realization without doubt that I'm just some pointless 1 in 7 billion monkey mammal sitting on this weird rock that's hurling through infinite space. How pointless my existence is, how insignificant this life is. And it hit me really hard. There are all these things that we know intellectually, and then there are things that we know intellectually and also feel in our hearts. And this was the type of thing that had both going on. So it hit me really hard, and there was just this incredible emptiness, because you can't really argue with that. It's true. We are simple, insignificant mammals hurling through infinite space. There is nothing you could say to that, really. It's the truth. That's the reality of the world, and that hit me super hard. But of course, the point here is that it's a matter of perspective. This same idea can give you a tremendous amount of motivation and freedom if you just realize it in the right way, that nothing really matters at the end of the day. All the things we worry about, one day we will all be gone, and none of this will matter. And so that can be liberating and beautiful, but also depressing if you're in a mind state that you would like the world to have some kind of concrete meaning and things like that, but there is none. So that was just baffling. how clear that realization was, and I've never felt as pointless in my life as I did them. I really felt like I do not want to keep on living, because what's the point? There's no point to it. And I understood that painfully clearly. And the weird thing is that that was true. That was the truth of the situation. And it's true now, and it's true tomorrow, and true was the day before. But also the opposite is true, like I said. So it can get you stuck in this sort of loop of thinking negative types of thoughts, and this was really unpleasant. I've never had the same experience again, but it can be really frightening, uh, because it can be frightening if you're like face to face with reality, and if you're not prepared and ready for it. If you go into the experience and then you realize that, wow, my life is fucked up, and you're not doing what you're supposed to, what you in your heart know that you're supposed to do, that you should do to be a happier and better human being. If you're not doing that, then while these experiences happen, you see it very clearly. You get it. It hits you, and that can be quite frightening. That you were not prepared for. So yeah, this is just really short kind of thoughts about bad trips. They are really bad when they're bad, and they're really really good when they're good. Kind of like life, in general, for me at least. But yeah, that's the nature of them. They really do magnify what you're feeling. So yeah, these are wonderful tools. I haven't done them in ages, but it's an incredible experience. And even the bad experience, they teach you a lot about yourself and life. And I think they do make you a better person. So yeah, these are just really short thoughts about bad trips. So I hope it was interesting in some way. If you have any thoughts, please share them in the comments. And of course, thank you so much for watching.